various committees the MIA took on this task. Pickup and delivery operations were devised. Money was urgently needed too. Funds were needed to keep carpools running. Some money came from preachers who donated their fees from guest sermons at church in and out of the city. And soon money began to come from all over the nation, even from Europe and Asia. 3 weeks passed by, and the deadlock between the boycotters and the bus company continued. Neither side was willing to surrender an inch. Each meeting was conducted with a bitter disagreement, with representatives and the bus company charging Martin in the MIA was breaking the law. There are some also associations that the MIA had some members who were communists.
Or what?
Communist.
Communist. They said some of the MIA, the MIA members were communist. And communist means like they did not like favor American economic policies. Okay, and other things that don't favor America. Or America doesn't favor. Go ahead.
People opposed to MIA accused them of disturbing a quiet community and causing unrest among neighbors who had lived together peacefully before.
So do you remember who MIA is?
No.
MIA is the organization they made, right?
Yeah.
What was it stand for? Can you find what it stood for? It's a couple pages back. Do you remember? Maybe it's talking about it right there. MIA, right here. What's this? Montgomery Improvement Association. Montgomery is what?
What?
What is Montgomery when they say Montgomery?
What is Montgomery?
You don't know what Montgomery is when they're talking about Montgomery?
Is it a city?
Yes, the city they live in. So the Montgomery Improvement Association. So we could have the LVIA, the Las Vegas Improvement Association. Okay. So they're the Montgomery Improvement Association. So the bus people are saying, oh, the Montgomery Improvement Association people are communist and they just want to cause problems and they are not looking out for the welfare of the citizens. They're saying everything was working just fine and then they came in and disrupted everything. But is that true?
No.
What really happened?
They were there first.
No, the black people just wanted to be treated fairly, right?
Yeah.
So they created an organization to kind of help them further on their fairness project. Okay, let's go. You weren't on that page, right? Go back to the page. All right.
We lived together peacefully before.
Who lived together peacefully before?
The white and black.
Yeah. But is that true?
No.
No. But that's what the bus people are saying.
The one white resident told Martin the boycott had set race relations back several years and had ended what a peaceful coexistence. Sir, Martin replied, "You have never had a real peace in Montgomery. You had a sort of negative peace, which in Negro is too often accepted a state of subordination.
Of what?
Of
Subordination.
But this was not true peace. True peace is not merely a absence of tension. It is the presence of justice. The tensions we see in Montgomery today is necessary tension that comes when we are oppressed to rise up and start to move.
So they were oppressed means they were being held down. They weren't being treated fairly, right? And then now there's tension. Tension means like there's stress and problems and it's hard. It's hard to make people who want to hold you down give you fairness. So that's the tension that they're having now. So the white people are saying, nah, man, everything was cool. Everything was fine. And now you guys are, setting everything back and creating tension. When Martin Luther King and the Montgomery Improvement Association is saying, no. You got to have some tension sometimes to fix the problem. right? You got to work hard to fix the problem. You got to be tired to make something bigger and stronger and better. You know?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Permanent positive peace. Unable to break the boycott. The bus company told lies, tried all kinds of tricks, and misled the media. False rumors
Misled the media.
False rumors were spread that the boycott was over. And black residents was harassed by the other city agencies. And then came the death threats to the leaders of the MIA. On January 30th, while Martin was addressing a meeting at the importance of nonviolence and direct action, he was told that his house had been bombed. He rushed home to find that an explosion had happened burst on the porch. Coretta and their baby daughter, Yolande, were all right. Though a bit shaken, someone had also thrown sticks of dynamite at the Eddie Nix's lawn.
Six what? Sticks of dynamite. Dynamite, like on Minecraft. So they were trying to bomb and kill Martin Luther King and the other people who are leaders in the Montgomery Improvement Association, just because they want fairness and equal rights. That's not right? They tried to bomb his house and his wife. They bombed it, but they didn't. But they put it on the doorstep, and nobody opened the door, so the bomb didn't get them. That's what he said. He said nobody was hurt, right? Yeah, that's crazy, right?
So the house didn't explode, just the porch? Just the porch.
See, he rushed home to find that. What? Read that sentence.
He rushed home to find that an explosion had burst on the porch.
On the porch, see. Okay, go, keep going.
Coretta and their baby daughter, Yolande, were all right.
Yolanda.
Though a bit shaken, someone had also thrown sticks of dynamite on the E.D. Nix's lawn. What does that mean?
E.D.?
E.D. Nix's lawn.
I think that's his name. E.D. Let me see. Where? Point to it. Hold on. I can't see. Hold on.
I'm trying to.
E.D. Nixon's lawn. That's his name. I don't know what the E stands for. Maybe like Edward David Nixon or something. E.D. Nixon. That's his name. Okay. So they threw sticks of dynamite on his lawn, but also they sound like they didn't get him either.
The showdown was now at new and dangerous level. With spread of violence, Martin had the entire city of Montgomery were placed in the national spotlight. The young minister was caught up in a spin speaking of engagements, and that took him and his cause all across the country. So soon, all the traveling and the meetings took their toll. And Martin's doctor told him to slow down and take it easy, or he would damage his health. Martin intended to take it easy, but then another problem came up. The city's attorneys were going out to call the carpool and public nursing reporting without a license. A court order against the carpool would make transportation for the boycotters most difficult. With winter coming on, the protesters would be forced back into buses. This was a desperate moment, and once more Martin placed the crisis in the hands of his Lord.
So what they're trying to do now, the bus people they were carpooling. Carpooling means like they got their friends together and then they shared cars because they're riding the bus. So the people that sometimes ride the bus, if we did a bus boycott, well, we'd have to if we want to be a part of the change, we'd have to pick some people up who ride the bus normally, right? We have a car, so we have to pick up some people who ride the bus and give them a ride because, they're boycotting the bus. That's going to make things better for everybody. So they were doing that for a long time, and the bus company was struggling because there's nobody riding the bus, so they went to courts and found a judge, and the judge said that the carpool, basically picking people up and giving them a ride, is against the law. It's against the law. You can't pretend you're a bus and this and that. And now that's making it difficult for them to continue the bus boycott. So let's see what happens. Keep going.
Why is it difficult now?
Because they said it's against the law to pick people up, just random people by the bus stop. Like I can't just go pick somebody up by the bus stop now. They said it's against the law. First, that's what they're doing. They were picking people up people who had cars were picking people up who rode the bus so they could continue to boycott the bus. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now the judge said that's against the law. And when the judge says against the law, if you violate the law, what happens?
You go to jail.
Yeah, you go to jail. Nobody wants to go to jail. So now that might mean I can't pick you up at the bus stop, which means you could potentially have to get back on the bus, which means now we'll lose our bus boycott, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He could make a way out of no way.
Mm-hmm.
He preached. On November 13th, almost a year after the boycott began, Wren was in court listening as the city demanded $15,000 in damage of the boycott and insisted that the carpool would be discontinued. During recess from the trial, the reporter ran into the courtroom and handed a press to release Martin. As he read it, Martin's fear changed to glee. The United States Supreme Court today affirmed the diction of Special 3 Judge USA
District 3.
and segregation and buses constitutional. The release read, God Almighty has spoken from Washington, D.C. Martin told his friends and supporters that a month later, December 20th, a man, date from the Supreme Court, arrived in Montgomery. Martin, Albany, Nixon, and Jen Smiley, a white minister and a member of the pioneering civil rights group, the Fellowship of Recollection, took a ride on the city's first integrated bus.
You hear that? What happened?
What?
What the court say?
That the rights are good now?
Yeah, they said that it was unconstitutional, which means you know the Constitution, right? That's the rule book of America. So the court said it's unconstitutional to segregate to segregate the bus, and they have to desegregate the bus. You know,
Yeah.
which means you have to now let black people and white people sit anywhere they want, and that was the beginning of the change. Why, like, now everything is desegregated. You know, me and you can sit anywhere we want. When we go into Walmart or something, we don't have to wait only in the black area. We can just stand in line anywhere, right?
Yeah.
But you couldn't always do that. That's crazy, isn't it? Could you imagine if you couldn't sit next to any kid you wanted to at school? You could only sit next to Jackson, and you guys would be in the back, and you might not even get to go to the same school. You have to just go to just a black school. If you know, if that's not what you want to do.
Most
you know?
of our friends would still be there.
Yeah,
Instead of Ethan, Eugene, and Norman.
yeah, but you wouldn't have Ethan. Don't you like having the option to have Ethan, Eugene, and Norman?
Yeah, but everybody else would still be with us.
What? You only hang out with black kids?
Yeah, like Augustia's black, I would say. Jackson, Nicholas is maybe not Nicholas.
Yeah. See, but isn't it better to be able to hang out with whoever you want to hang out with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So now you can. Now you can hang out with black kids, and you can hang out with white kids, and you can hang out with Japanese kids, and you can hang out with Native American kids. Anybody, right?
Yeah.
Okay, go. Keep reading. So it's unconstitutional. So now they said they took their first ride on a desegregated bus, right? Let's go.
United States Supreme Court today affirmed the decision of a white minister of the fellow member of the pioneering civil rights group, a Fellowship of Reconciliation, took a ride on the city's first integrated bus. The symbolic gesture was soon matched by day-to-day reality as thousands of black and white major incidents, although all through the Ku Klux Klan held several demonstrations protesting the new conditions and the victory won at a great cost. Lamia spent $225,000 in court fees.
Do you know who the Ku Klux Klan is? The KKK?
What?
Have you heard of them?
No.
So the KKK is, you're gonna hear a lot about it later. KKK is a group of it's their organization. Like we have like the black people had the MIA. They made the KKK, which stood for like Ku Klux Klan or something, right?
Yeah.
and it was like basically a group of like white people that did not want to make things fair for black people. Their whole goal was to keep things not even for them and black people, keep white people above and black people below, and their whole goal was to do that. So all they did was like create problems, kill people, put the bombs, fight things in court, block the door, just whatever they could do to make it difficult for black people to have a fair chance in America. So that's the Ku Klux Klan. When you hear the KKK, that's gonna be another group. Okay. All right, go.
The celebration, however, lost some of its luster with the continued resistance from some white ministers who were slow to support integration. Some of them did not want to get involved in an issue that would bring unwanted attention, nor did the White Citizens Council accept the new conditions. There are people who have distorted and racist activities in order to stand in the way of the move toward harmony. Despite these setbacks, in a few days in the city, they began to experience a period of peace. And just when Martin and River and Albertson thought they could take a break from intense struggle, the word came from Albany's house and church had been bombed.
Who had been bombed?
The church and Albanese house.
Oh wow, Reverend Albanese house was bombed, and the church.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
When they arrived at Albanese's house, the street was roped off and the crowd stood staring at the ruins. The front porch was completely destroyed. Inside, things were scattered from one room to the next. Several more black churches were also ripped by bombs. Damages of the bombings of these churches were estimated at 7,000. In response of disasters, the city commission ordered all buses removed from the streets. And worried that the spread of violence might cancel the bus company's license. Shortly after the bombing of Albernese's house and church, their king participated in joining with the 60 other leading administrators in the founding of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference.
So they're founding something else, the Southern Christian Leadership Conference? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Usual Martin elected the head to the new organization. These leaders worked hard for peace, but faced with the growing emergency, the city was compelled to act. Rewards were offered to help bring Pell to act. Rewards were offered to help about the arrest of conviction and responsible for the lawlessness. Many people were surprised when 7 white men were arrested. 5 of them were brought before a grand jury.
Speak eloquently. That means speak really good.
Of war in this early stage of Martin Luther King's Jr. career, the burden of leadership was a heavy one. At age 28, Luther King collapsed from a sheer exhaustion. He needed rest, but he wasn't going to get it for long. The civil rights movement had begun.
All right, let's stop there. What chapter you can go into next?
Chapter 4.
Okay, the civil rights movement had begun. Yes.
What's sheer exhaustion?
Exhaustion. Sheer exhaustion. All right. Exhaustion means like it means like he was working so hard and he ran so, like when you run, like you're exhausted, you're tired, right? So he was He was moving around. He was doing speaking engagements. He was flying around. He was traveling. He was staying up all night. He was getting up early in the morning, and he was getting so tired that he just was like, he just was exhausted. Like he couldn't stay awake. It's like when you get out the car in your sleep, right? And you can't stay awake, and you don't know who you are, and this and that. But he was just so tired because he was working so hard. So like, this is hard work, bro. He's the reason why. He's one of the people that are the reason why, like, you know, we can just drive around on the streets and eat where we want and do what we want, because they didn't let it be fair for a long time. You know, I don't know why they didn't want it to be fair, but they didn't want it to be fair. They only wanted people who were white with blonde hair and blue eyes and maybe brown hair, but really pale, nice white skin, to have, you know, all the nice luxuries and nice things that you have, you know? And so Martin Luther King, that's why he's such a big hero. That's why it's Martin Luther King Day. And
Martin Luther King Day?
Yeah, it's a holiday.
When is it?
It's like in January, maybe like January 15th or something. It's his birthday. 15th, 18th, somewhere around there. We should know that. 16th maybe. Anyways, he was working just as hard as he could, so you could just, you know, go to, like, you go to Jack's birthday and you play on the flag football team with kids, or you're at the Showtimers practice with anybody, and nobody like looks at us and says we can't do it, you know, because that's how they want it to be in America. Because America, you know, they just started the country off not fair, you know. Right, and you're gonna learn about, like, a long time ago how it even started like that. But by the time Martin Luther King Jr. came, we have been in America for a long time. But a long time ago, we came to America from Africa, and they started it off not fair. But there's gonna be another story about that, how it started off not fair. You know?
Yeah.
So exhaustion means he just was like super duper tired. Okay, and he collapsed from exhaustion. But they said the civil rights movement had begun. So you know what the civil rights movement is?
What?
That's the beginning of, like, they call it civil rights. It's everybody has civil rights. Why? You know how you say you have to be kind to people at school?
Yeah.
That's civil rights. You know how you say, like, a guy and a guy can get married, and a girl can get married?
Yeah.
That's civil rights. They didn't let that happen for a long time. You couldn't do that. A guy and a guy couldn't get married. A girl and a girl couldn't get married. They still don't like it, right? Sometimes they don't like it still, right? That much?
Yeah.
But they at least allow it now because of civil rights. They used to not let women. Women couldn't go to work or be a boss or be a police officer or be a firefighter. Women couldn't do that. Women could only, you know, be moms and cook in the house and stuff like that, you know?
Yeah.
So civil rights was like, it's like social studies, social rights. Like, it's fairness for everybody. They want rights for everybody, you know, or at least for a certain amount of people, a certain type of people, and that's most of the people, you know. There might be some things that still aren't fair, but they're trying to iron that out, you know. But definitely they have rights, fairness for men, for women. They don't always have fairness for children yet. You know, children don't have civil rights. Like, imagine if you had civil rights, it'd be like, I don't want to go to school, Daddy. I don't have to go to school. Right now, you don't have civil rights like that. I say, Isaiah, you got to go to school. You know, right?
Yeah.
Because they know kids need help. But once they think that you're old enough where you don't need no help, then you have civil rights. You know, but kids need help, right? You need help. You can't just be your own boss and do what you want, right? You think you can? But you need to try to, when you become president of the school, you know, when you run for election, when they have presidents and fourth grade, civil rights for kids. You could be, you know, right? That'd be interesting. All right. Screen Pound?
Yeah. Bye.